Good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, wherever you are at, and it is appropriate for you. I am, well, I guess I first should say welcome to Infused Transitions. So glad that you are here. If you're new here and you would like to know a little bit about how I read, that'll be in the description box down below. Feel free to go down there and check that out. We're really glad that you've joined us here, and we hope that you enjoy the videos and they resonate and you decide to join to become a part of our channel. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much, you guys. I just really appreciate you being here, supporting the channel, supporting me, supporting getting this information out there for others. For everyone, just take what resonates, leave the rest. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just jump in. So we are going to do a reading today looking at where you are and where you're going to go. So we're going to look at where you are, where you're going to go. Then we're going to look at what archetype are you currently in. And then we're going to look at what archetype would be best to serve you once you get over here. And we are then going to look at, like, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to bring in? What is challenging you and what is supporting you in this journey? Okay, so let's just get started. I end up having to always shuffle this weird little way because it hurts to my fingers. The cards are usually just, they're too big, and then yeah, so okay. All right, so let's see. Most high of all that is, of course, this is a general reading for the general collective. All readings are timeless when you find it is the right time for you. With all that in mind, here we go already. Cosmic lives. Cosmic lives. This is in the current. Where is your next place you're wanting to get to? Thank you. Wow. Future lives. Okay. For any of you who are interested, this is the Akashic Records Oracle deck by Amanda Romina. Okay. All right. Trying to think where can I put this? Okay, so cosmic lives. So it's kind of interesting that you look at cosmic life, future lives, and this is where you are and this is where you're going, right? You would think they would go together, which in reality they do in a sense, just not at it's not at the same time. How do I this is this. However, the focus needs to be shifted from over here to this, meaning for many of you, you're working on your sacred journey. You're working on your soul ascension. You're working on healing stuff that just isn't working anymore in your lives, right? There are things from cosmic lives you've had, possibly ones that you're currently simultaneously having, and there are things in here to clean up and clear out that will have an effect on your future. Now, I notice the difference in these cards in the sense of, don't get me wrong, this is beautiful and gorgeous, but notice how you're going from this so far away. I mean, if you really look at that card, there are so many stars there, planets, a gazillion ways to go there, and each world is different, you know what I'm saying? And over here, it's very focused. There's a lot of light. There's structure. There's protection, if you will. It's pinpointed into a specific space, if you will. Space, not space and time, but that too. But space as in within the self. So let's see what we got going on here. All right, and this is the Carolyn Miss archetypal deck. Okay. I haven't even asked anything yet. We're not doing that. All right, we are going to be asking now, like, what archetype are we currently in? And then we're going to just go straight and ask what archetype would best serve us once we've made it to this side, okay? Oh, sorry, guys. All right. Don't ask me why that was that way, but that's how it went. Okay. Okay, so now we're wanting the archetype for this over here where we currently are, Cosmic Lives. Thank you. And now we want the one over here for future lives, where we're heading. What is the archetype that's going to best serve us once we've made it over here to this future lives? Interesting. Bottom of the deck, we have Seeker. All right. In the light, the Seeker, this is a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. And in the shadow side, it is the inability to commit to a path once it's found. So that might be something to keep in mind. That could be a message for a few. Sorry, I got to get my hair up. I'm like suddenly very, very, very hot. Got some things rolling in. Okay. All right. So when we look at Cosmic Lives, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Life happens. What can I say? Okay. So currently where we are currently and looking at Cosmic Lives. So the card that came out, we have Slave. The light attribute is surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. The shadow attribute of that is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Wow. There's a lot to be said about that. Okay, so for many, there's, there's this, I want to create change. I'm willing to do the journey. I'm ready for the ups and downs that come with a journey like that. I realize that it's, there's things that come and go, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And we can be in that mindset, and that's great. And we can even have this understanding of, I realize I have to make my own choices and decisions. This is about me, stepping into who I am, and, so on and so forth. And that's wonderful. And this is not a judgment by any means. So please understand that. Been there, done that. And I believe that we all go through it from time to time. There is this, oh my gosh, I don't want to make this decision, because if I make this decision and I'm wrong, I don't want to make that mistake, right? Excuse me. But part of owning our choices and learning to make choices that keep us in alignment are part of the journey. It's part of that spiritual maturity. It's part of that spiritual growth, right? Without making our own choices and decisions and whatnot, then how are you going to learn? How are you going to expand? Because things are going to continue to come your way. And if you don't learn that skill over here, how are you going to do it over here? Right? It's like I want to abdicate my responsibility, and it just doesn't work that way. You can't. I won't say you can't. Never say never. But though it's possible, probably possible, it's probably not probable to have a quality journey and get where you're wanting to go if you're going to abdicate making choices and decisions about your journey, your choices, your life. And then, because you're never in control then. You're never in control of yourself. And I don't mean in a, oh, I'm in control. I mean, you're never in the flow. You have no opportunity to be in the flow that is in true alignment with you and your soul because you've got somebody else pulling the strings. I will also say that for many who are on the journey, there are things from past lives that need to be cleaned up and healed, released, because, slavery has been a part of your past in some way, shape, and form. We have lifetimes on a cosmic level, on a galactic level, and probably more that we can't even fathom. But the bottom line is that there's so many worlds and there's so many ways of being, and we already know from our time here on this, and I'm not going into anything political, I'm just saying there are times in our own earth reality where obviously there's always been, here comes these people, they conquer, and there are those who are enslaved, there are those who end up being refugees, there are those who end up melding in with the new system, there are those who end up being killed. So there's all these different dynamics, but they're saying specifically there is something where your power was taken away, but it really came down to choices. Now, that's not saying, oh, well, it was either I became a slave or I died, so I chose slavery. Well, most of us would. And it's not criticizing the choice. It's just saying that was a choice that was made. This is an outcome from it. This is an outcome that is continuing to have an effect. And it's not serving you. So now this is the time to look at that and let it go. And it is definitely important for your journey to take back your ownership. Take back the ownership of your own choices, your free will, your free choice, and own your stuff. Own your own stuff instead of always pointing your finger. Well, she told me, he told me. Well, you know what? You only have yourself to point that finger at because you gave away your control. So there's that. All right. So then we have the future lives. Okay. And we have addict now, I'll show you the card. Okay. We have the addict. So the light attribute is it helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, which I will say it does seem to become habit, just a not even thought for. It's like we automatically end up programming ourselves to automatically abdicate in any responsibility for our choices or decisions. So it is a habit, and it's not a habit that is going to serve you when you're here. However, if you are open to, through non-judgment, look at yourself and go, okay, so what do I have going on here that I can look at, that I can change, that I can do what I can to make myself stronger, healthier, happier. And again, I do feel that this addict attribute, sorry, I can't talk, is talking specifically about this giving away our control. Okay, let's see. Shadow attributes. This compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. See, yeah, it's, do you see how clearly these two go hand in hand, right? But if you take back your ownership of making your own choices and decisions, that opens up your heart and your mind to come into this space where you can start recognizing and confronting these habits, whether it's an addiction, whether it's a habit, whether it's, I call them mindless habits, mindless addictions, because we maybe don't look at them as an addiction. It's like, oh, that's not an addiction, right? But, again, expanding the mind. If it's something that you have habitually just laid out there and let somebody else have control of it, it's a habit. So there we go. Okay. Let's see. So what are we looking at? Which one? Okay, yeah. We're going to use this one. This is the Moonology deck, Oracle deck, and this is by Yasmin Bolin. Sorry if I do not do a good job on pronouncing names. Ha. Okay, so this one stayed behind when I picked up the cards. This is North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. So letting go, it's about letting go, again, of staying over here, staying stuck, staying where you're comfortable. Even if we don't like where we often are comfortable where we are. And because we're comfortable with where we are, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to change, because if we change, then I have to give up where I'm at. And again, I realize that it's not the best for me, but it's what I know. And so that makes me comfortable. So yeah, you're what to let go of is that comfort. Let go of that comfort level, that comfort zone, if you're wanting to get from here to here, because it's just not helping. It's just not serving you in that way. Yeah, see, and on the bottom of the deck, we have your commitment is being tested. You know, how badly do you want to make this change? How badly do you want to be able to move forward? Okay. So we see that, okay, but, oh, okay, yeah. All right, and what are we bringing in? What deck do you want me to use? All right. Let's see. They're showing me a specific deck. And I can see the cards in my head, but I can't remember. I can't remember which deck that is. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I could see the deck, and it was driving me crazy, and I couldn't find it. Okay, so we have Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. So let's keep going here. All right. So we're looking at now, what is it that we want to bring in? We know we want to let go, staying in the comfort zone. Okay. All right. All right. What are we wanting to bring in this journey, getting from over here to over here? What are we wanting to bring in? What do we want? Let's do it this way, because that's driving me crazy. Get these shadows off of here the best I can. All right. What are we wanting to bring in? What are we wanting to bring in? What are we wanting to bring in? Thank you. Yep, balance. We're wanting to bring in that balance, okay? Now, I find this card interesting with what we have laying out here, because her head is literally in the clouds, okay? So she doesn't have her physical eyesight. She's operating on her instincts, her intuition, her senses, but she has achieved balance. And if you look at the moons, right, the different phases of the moons here, yeah, they may be distributed differently, but she still has maintained balance. She's also got her inner light. Her inner light is balanced. She's balanced. And she's standing on a cloud. So, I mean, again, this card is so bang on for what we're talking about here. All right, we're going to actually put this on this side. Okay. What are we using now? Okay, so we're looking at what's challenging you. All right. They're saying continue with this deck. So that's what we're going to do. So what's challenging you moving from this? What is challenging you from moving from this? What's challenging with moving that from that? Thank you. Hunger. All right. So the hunger card in this specific deck talks about that's why balance is there. So it talks about how we can be so hungry for something, so driven for something, that we become almost like tunnel vision, tunnel focus, and we don't pay attention to what is going on around us. And when it's out of balance, it comes to the point that we alienate things, well, not just people, but things or opportunities or things, because it's like, no, it's going to be over here and it's going to look like this, and this is my journey and this is what it is, right? I just saw this. Okay, so I got to bring this in, I guess. I don't know if you can really see it from there, but there's like literally a face on here. And it always looks very alien to me. The lighting isn't the greatest for you to be able to see that. Ooh, I almost dropped it. We have the two eyes, and then the nose, which sticks out, and then the mouth. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I don't know why my attention was drawn to that, but it was. So that must speak to someone. Okay, so anyways, the hunger. This is about being overly focused. This is about being so hungry, it moves. And again, when we have addictions and habits, it's easy to become obsessed, right? Which is not healthy. Obsession is when things just have gone overboard, too far, and yeah, that's not good. So it is, again, keeping this in balance. You want to be hungry, you want to be determined, right? But and you want to overcome, just like it, does it say overcome? No, it doesn't say overcome, but for whatever reason, I could have swore that just said overcome. But you want to be able to overcome being stuck and moving out of your comfort zone. You want to be able to come over to this side of the journey, right? Of this portion of your journey. But being overly hungry can get in your way, same as being not hungry enough gets in the way, right? If you're not hungry enough, it's like you pick at it and, well, I'll do this, and maybe next year, next month, next week, I'll do this, whatever it is. But then you complain because, well, it's not happening for me, right? So it's balance. Everything is about balance, right? So, all right, what's supporting them, helping, assisting, supporting in this journey, in this portion of the journey? Trust would help you, okay? Trusting the process. And trust me, that's funny. I get that. I so get that. And I struggle just like everybody else. I have challenges and things along the way, just like everybody else. And for me, trust is a big one. It is very difficult for me to trust the process, to trust various different aspects of the journey. And it is something that I constantly have to look at and be reminded to do, and so on and so forth. So, but trust is the bridge. Trust is that bridge that's going to get you from over here to over here. Okay? Yeah. So there we go. That's all of that. Now let's look at okay. Oops. We're going to look at a few things here. Take it a little bit farther. Maybe for you who are new and don't know me, I'm not a person who can really do short reads. I really struggle to keep it short. There have been times that I've purposely sat and tried to keep something short, and it just doesn't work that way. But once messages come through, I go until I feel that the message is complete. Sorry if you had to hear me slurp or swallow. Okay. We're getting one more here. No, that's why. Yeah. They did not like that. I didn't like it either. Ah, okay. There we go. Better. All right, what's up with the cards here? So, utmost high of all that is. Let's imbue and infuse this with purity, truth, accuracy, wisdom, and knowledge, clearing out anything else that is not that in, of, by, through with you. Okay. We are going to, let's look a little more here at this, so let's ask the question of, like, is there a specific area, or is there a specific area, or is this just wherever, everywhere? Give us a little more clarity on the shadow attribute of the slave archetype, please. Thank you. Too much in the mind. Oh, this one came out. Yep, see? Too much in the mind. And that keeps you stuck. You're not in reality stuck, but the mind keeps you in this picture, right? The mind keeps you in this picture. And I feel like there are specific stories, again, beliefs that are being ran over and over and over and over. And anytime you think about stepping out of your comfort zone, it's almost like, no, there's this thought and it's just going to keep you stuck. That's ego talking. That's ego that keeps you in this space in an attempt. Well, so you can't see him down there. In an attempt to keep you safe. But in reality, it's working against you. Maybe that served you at some point, but it's not serving you now. Okay. And again, that's why balance is so important, right? We can let our mind run away with us, just like we can allow our emotions to run away with us. We can allow both of them to run away with us. It is up to us to be in control of our mind and our emotions, as well as our body. And that's, again, it's not talking about out of balance control. It's talking about balanced, healthy, aligned, and harmonious balance and control, right? Which again is going to make us have to, well, not make us, it's a choice, but if you are going to choose to do this journey, then there's going to be a need to look at these things and address them, right? Give us a little more on this hunger, please. Give us a little more on this hunger card. Can you be a little more specific, maybe? Can we be a little more specific? Obviously, again, remember these. Oh, that's way too many. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Too many to try to decipher just one or two out of there when that many came out. Okay, so we want some clarity on this hunger. Oi. Oi, 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 oi. Okay, we want some clarity on the hunger with the understanding that, yes, this is a general read, but let's see what we get. Okay, thank you. I like it when you give me just one. Page of Cups. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups here, and okay, so first of all, there's noticing how, his legs are up here, the bottom half of his legs are up here, but the rest of him is down here. Now, when I see this card, again, I'm reading intuitively. It's like, okay, this is clearly somebody who has some work to do because he's not even all together. It's about balance. But I also see that it's about being here and now, but there's also the work that we're doing, intuitive work, it's higher vibrational work, it's different dimensions work. There's this love. There is this love. I don't know if you can see that very well. Okay, come on. There we go. And then there's this little angel pig flying above the dish there. There is support. There is spiritual support. You are much loved. This is somebody who is possibly looking for love. And there's this need to understand, right? Because we can get so wrapped up in what we want. And so, again, that focus, that out of balance hunger, that we miss other things along the way that are going to actually help us when we get over here. And these other things along the way will actually improve the quality for when we get over here. And he's thinking about this. So yeah, again, the mind, if you look at his eyes, I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but if you look at his eyes there, it's like he's looking upward. Like when you're wondering and you're thinking about something and your vision is kind of off instead of straight ahead of you. And again, it's being in the mind. This entrapment is what I hear, this constant feeling of entrapment. And like on here, it's like, you can see those are actually just strings and the birds are there. But I mean, a bird isn't like a helicopter. It can't stay in one position for a super, it can't stay in one position. It can't just sit there and fly and not go anywhere. So yeah, there's running of stories in the mind that's happening. There's running of stories in the mind that's happening. All right, let's get a little more on this stepping out of your comfort zone. Can you give us a little more clarity on that and what you mean? Thank you. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm seeing. 8 of Pentacles, and we can see she's on, and I'll hold this up. Right? We can see she's got all these tools. She's got all these things in front of her. She's got her books, her notes. She's got her feather for writing, her feather for messages. She has a plant, possibly an aloe plant. I'm not sure. You would need to look up the properties of an aloe plant and see if that speaks to you. She has her lights, she's got her tools. She's got all of these pentacles. This is, she's planted her seeds. She is planting her seeds. She has planted seeds and she's continuing to work. This is about, again, stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, this is, for some people, this is like, that's a lot happening, a lot going on. And it can take practice learning how to have balance while we're moving around a variety of things that we've got going on, right? But there is an opportunity here for the Ace of Pentacles. There's an opportunity for abundance. Now, this is showing it as the Pentacles, and the Pentacles, which of course is about the material world, finances, that kind of thing. But what I'm seeing, what I'm really being drawn to here is that, okay, so it's the Page of Pentacles for one. So this could be about a bringing in of an opportunity that's going to come your way. It could be, for some, it's about suddenly getting an amount of money that you weren't expecting. For others, though, it's about doing the work to get to this place of creating an opportunity for yourself to have this abundance, right? Which again makes sense if we're trying to get over to here and we're wanting to change our story and the quality of our life. Well, it's going to take work. It's going to take moving through some things and shifting. But the other thing I wanted to point out is, if you look at her, once she has this, she's very centered and she has balance and she has peace. I mean, if you look at her face, she has peace. So I do feel that, this stepping out of your comfort zone may be starting to put together things that you need to work on, as well as bringing in things that you would enjoy that would help you get over to this other space, okay? For those of you who are, yeah, okay. So for those of you, I was going to say, those of you who are spirit animals, totem animals, we do have the duck and the goose here, a mallard duck to be specific. Excuse me. I'm not sure what kind of goose that is, but if you're a person who knows birds or you want to go look it up, I'm sure you could eventually find it, or someone who can tell you what kind of goose that is, or you can just keep it general and look for goose energy. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You can also look for crow, and you can look for wolf. The whole thing that started, they showed me that with that concept, and then it was the lone wolf, and that can be somebody who's in this journey. It's like, no, I'm not going to ask anybody for help, because I don't want to be made fun of, or I don't want to be turned down, or I don't want. There's a difference between letting others take control and simply gathering information, right? We can ask other people's opinions, sure. You can ask other people about their journey, sure. But understand that's not your journey. That's not your opinion. It's about taking in information, doing the research, synthesizing things down, and deciding, okay, out of all of this and what I feel, this is what I'm actually going to do, right? The trust too, I wanted to point out the fact that she's in this clear see-through egg. She's being, the goose has actually built a nest on her and is, keeping her warm, watching over her. And, she has another one that's on the outside, on the perimeter there, watching over her. All right, so can you give us some more about the trust card, please? Give us a little more about the trust card, please. Okay. See, but it didn't come out, but... All right, but they're saying, yeah. Okay. All right, so the trust card, we have the Seven of Wands. Let me show the card to you. So in this particular deck, there's all this stuff going on around her, but it's like, maybe these could be the things coming at her to get in her way. These could be, so this reads a few different ways. This could be the challenges and the things coming towards her, but she's like, I have my inner light. It's right there. I have connection to, utmost high, spirit, God, source, universe, whatever that is for you. You can see that is lit up there, right? You can see her inner light is lit up. You can see she is at peace. She's not looking at this. She's not giving attention to those challenges that are trying to knock her off course. And again, in the egg, and again, she's in a sphere or a bubble of protection. Okay? For others, it could be lone wolf syndrome. Nope, I'm not going to take your help. There's these different people or resources of some kind, a place, whatever these combinations are for you, that could offer you assistance, but there is this stubbornness of, I'm not going to take that. Nope, there's being in distrust versus trust. Okay? And that can be due to people who have experienced a lot of heartbreak. It's hard for us to trust when we've been hurt repeatedly. See what almost came out here, but it went back in, the Devil card and the heartbreak. So again, if we're going to let the heartbreak and what has happened in the past dictate our current and our future, we're giving it way too much power. We're giving away our power and our free will, free choice. So again, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do? It's up to you. All right. Let's get a little more on the balance card. Are we talking about something specific here? A broad blanket? What's, tell us some more. Tell us whatever we need to know more about this balance card, please. Thank you. All right. Now this came out on this whole mind stuff. Okay, so having it come out on the mind stuff, again, what did I just say about this? There's people who are there to help us. that could be support, that could, not to tell you what to do, but to be there as your support, whatever that looks like for you. And that is going to shift up and change and be different from time to time, right? There are people available and around you to help you, whether they are people you know, people who will come across your path, someone that you may seek out because you've heard about them and you think that they could help you. But there is help and support available. There are people who will encourage you and be your cheerleader. Okay? Let's get a little more about the addict. Let's get a little more about the addict. What more can you tell us about the addict? I only take the cards that are the actual jumpers that come out unless I feel guided to take the one or ones that might be sticking out. Thank you. Or if I have one that just like refuses to go in, then I will. And I was doing that purposely. Let's just, yeah, I was doing that purposely. I was just wanting to make my point there. All right. Again, on the mind. I mean, everything falling on the mind, right? We have moving on. The Six of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and then we had the Tower. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the Six of Swords. Okay, so this is telling me that, whoever the people are that this is resonating for, this is telling me that you've done the work. You're moving on from that addict energy in where it's not helping you, and it has transported you. You are harnessing it in the light attribute, using it to help you recognize and identify, where are things that you need to let go? Where do you have habits or even addictions, whatever those are, that need to be gone? Addictions aren't just behavior. Addictions can be, again, the habitual addiction to constantly staying stuck in our mind or constantly letting somebody else make our choices and our decisions, right? But there's moving on from that, going to a different place. Now, in this particular deck, to me, she looks like she's so sad about that, right? But I feel like the point of that is even when it's challenging, we keep moving. And that is what is going to create change for us. We're going to calmer waters. We're going from this body of land over the water to this body of land. And that water in between there is the emotions, it's the thoughts, it's the journey that is necessary to take to get to the calmer waters, to get to this other side. Okay, then we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, a lot of people look at the Four of Pentacles as somebody who's, it can mean somebody who's stingy, somebody who doesn't share, somebody who is greedy. But in this particular instance, I feel like this is taking ownership now. Ownership in being responsible with your resources. And that includes your mind. That includes your emotions. That includes, yes, your money, of course. But it also includes taking control of yourself, of managing properly with balance your resources, your emotions, your mind, your money, your body. I mean, you name it. There's, what are your resources? And then we have this Tower moment. Okay. People a lot of times will freak out over the Tower moment, but in this particular case, I think it's just simply saying, to me, it's more of a portal moment. It's success. It's like, yeah, you have pulled down and pulled out those things, those bricks of your foundation that weren't serving you anymore, and you are putting in these new bricks that are updated, upgraded, up-leveled, and really appropriate to where you are now, or where you will be once you get over here, right? The journey is taking these things down and letting those things go. Okay, what else can you give us as far as a clarity around this future lives? What else can you tell us about the clarity of the future lives, please? What else can you tell us about the clarity of the future lives? What else can you tell us there? Okay. Okay. All right. So we have the Three of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. Now, to me, how I am interpreting this in this particular reading would be, this Three of Wands is once you've gotten here, right? Or where you're almost there. So for some, it's going to be right before you get there. For some, it's going to be when you get there. Or for others, it's going to be after you've been there for a while and you've had time to adjust. Everybody's different. But there's this waiting. You're waiting for the right wave. You're waiting for the ship to come in. You're waiting for something that's coming in. You're looking off and waiting for that. This is what's coming in, right? We have the Knight of Swords. And he's coming in quick. And I say he just because it's a guy on here. Could be male, could be female. It's, take it how it resonates. This could be romantic. It could be an opportunity. It could be a partnership. It could be that you've now gone from this long journey and this waiting space to now there's movement, and this is you in both instances. It just kind of depends. Again, for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. It can also be that once you get over to this side, things that used to drag on and take forever are going to pick up their pace and speed up. Yeah, look at that. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Death and Rebirth card, right? How fitting is that? All right, so we are going to quickly just go through. We're looking for some cards here that are going to help us in how do we best support ourselves in our journey to get from where we are to where we want to go. How can we best support ourselves to get from where we are to where we want to go? Okay. How can we best support ourselves to get from where we are to get to where we want to go? How do we best support ourselves on the journey? Okay, one more. Thank you. Oops. All right. This particular deck is Cheryl Richardson's self-care cards. Okay. Again, late on the mind, we have nature. We have nature. And we have truth. Okay. With the truth card, we have the cat. Okay, so with nature, we have take a walk. Let the beauty of nature feed your soul. Clear your mind. A lot of people say that when they walk, they think it's their place and space to think. If that's true for you, then getting grounded and getting connected with nature is going to be very, very important. And it's going to be a healing practice to, even if you can only do it for a second when you start, but then increase as you go, there is this healing in nature to shift your focus. And it's going to take mind work to do this, to get out of your head thinking about what you normally think about and focus on listening to the sounds of nature around you. Listening to the rustling of the leaves moving in the trees, or the animals that rustle the ground and the trees and the leaves. Listening to the birds, listening to water if there's water around, listening to the wind. What do you smell on the air, Hopefully it's something pleasant. Notice the colors that are around you. Just literally, purposefully taking in nature, and then put your back against a tree, sit on the ground, lay on the ground, have a picnic outside, something to help you refortify yourself and practice shifting your mind. Now, I can say meditate, but meditate means many different things to many different people, and there's literally thousands of ways to meditate. If the thought of meditation and learning that is too much right now, that's fine. Just go out in nature and try to shift your mind from what you're constantly running around and around and around in your mind, and shift it to being present in nature, right? What's the terrain like and how does it shift, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So then we have truth. Tell the truth. Integrity is the key to living in an authentic life. So again, this is where, you know, if we don't want to admit that we give away our control, and we refuse to admit that we give away our control, then how are we going to shift that, right? If we are refusing to be in truth, and then how are we going to recognize and confront what needs to be released? So it is really important to be truthful. I can't seem to get that out of there. To be truthful with ourselves, right? And we can see there's this gate over here. And again, there's this, you know, there's that body of water that we talked about that you have to get through, and to get to that other side. There's a way over there. It's just a matter of, you know, she's on these floating lily pads. She can get there. She just needs to go to the gate and open the gate, which is about addressing what's happening with honesty, with integrity to yourself. Okay. This is also a Cheryl Richardson deck. This is her Grace Cards deck. Okay. Let me do one more. Okay. What else do you have for us, Utmost High, to support and help ourselves in this journey? What do you have for us? What do you have for us in this journey to help support ourselves in this now? Sorry, I know that's loud. I really need to get, I either need to get my blanket. I already had Strength. Okay. That reflection, that glare. Okay, so we have the Strength card, which says, face your fear. Exactly. Face your fears. Face your fears. Get out of your comfort zone. Every challenge is a blessing in disguise, a gift that makes us stronger, more conscious, and ultimately more alive. I mean, how appropriate and fitting is that, right? How appropriate and fitting is that, right? Let's get one more. One more, please. Thank you. Ask. See, again, there's that, you know, asking for help. There's support available for you, but you need to ask. When we call upon the divine for guidance and support, we will receive a response. Spiritual signposts will be put on our path, or in our path, to guide us in our highest good. And I would say there's also people that come along to support us and help us in our journey, to, again, be that cheerleader, not to tell us what to do, but be our cheerleader, to share wisdom and knowledge, right? All right. What else do you have for us? This is Daily Affirmations deck, and this is also with Cheryl Richardson. All right. Can you get us, oh, that went back. Get us one more that is for this journey, please. One more for the journey. All right, thank you. I feel God's presence in my life. So, you know, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever that is for you, bottom of the deck. And then this is about, yeah, see, that's about your spiritual health, obviously. Okay. This one is physical health. Physical health. And it says, I honor my sensuality by exploring sights, sounds, scents, and textures that make me feel alive and connected to my body. What did I just say about being out in nature, listening to the sounds? What does the terrain look like? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you see? So yeah, this is going to be really important in conquering this runaway mind that is controlling you instead of you controlling it. Okay, guys, so there are the steps. There's the story. This is how to help yourself and get you from here to there. I hope you find that this was helpful. Please don't forget to give it that thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell. Those are things that help this get out to help others. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.